Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we will be discussing about one more integration pattern of Salesforce integration with MuleSoft. So we are talking about the aggregation pattern. So as you can see, I am currently opening this particular Anypoint Studio 7.7 version. One moment. So this is 7.7, the latest version available, and I'm using the Mule runtime 4.3.0 as you can see over here. One moment guys. Let me try to minimize all the things so that I can pinpoint all the relevant information. Okay, this is good, and you can see the Mule server as 4.3.0, which we are currently referring in this particular use case. So this is in the continuation of my previous video, in which we have already discussed about the migration and the broadcast integration pattern when we integrate Salesforce to any other system. So here we are discussing about taking the aggregation pattern, and we will be taking source from two different systems. These are basically the two CSV files, user data, and the other one is more user data. And after that, scatter gather is being used, and we are going to merge and create a common payload, and the same payload will be fed into the create activity of Salesforce, and this is being wrapped around a for each scope. So I tried this for each, reason being earlier we have used batch, so it's not only like it's being we have to use batch only. So depending upon the use case, as the number of records in this particular flow will be relatively very small. So let me show you the content of these two CSV. It will make more sense then. So this is the user data.csv. There are a couple of entries with first name, last name, company, email ID, and UUID. UUID is more likely to be a correlation ID, which is going to connect this particular CSV with more user data CSV. 52315, just for an example, 52315 is for the Max Mule. So with this particular UUID, we are going to connect Max Mule with the annual revenue of 100520, and along with phone number is being registered like this. Similarly, it is being referred for rest of the two entries as well. Okay, so having said that, let me go back to the this particular flow. This is basically a HTTP GET based listener, which is having an action of /aggregate. After that, this is a scatter gather in which I am going to read two parallel CSV files. So it is picking up user data.csv. So let me show you the location. So this is the user data.csv, and the second one is reading the data from more user data.csv. The payload of each will be saved into these variables. Okay, and after that we are going to transform these messages or the CSV into a single canonical structure. So how we are doing that? Within the user data, first name, last name, email, and company, this will remain same. We are going to pick up annual revenue and phone from more user data set variable, and we are passing it on as an index to it. So more user data.uuid with the index of this item.uid of user data, pick up that particular annual revenue and assign it to annual revenue tag. Similarly for the phone number. There could be different ways to achieve this, but I feel like this is the most convenient way to implement this particular logic. After that, there is a logger, which is simply putting out the payload, and again there is a transform message which is going to convert it into a Java equivalent or a Java object. Then we have placed a for each scope. Inside that I have placed a create activity of Salesforce, and in which I have used the type as lead, and the record is of array of payload. And there is a transform message which I have placed over here just to print out the payload as a result of this create activity. And finally there is a logger to print out the each iteration of the for each. So this is pretty much about the flow which we have created for aggregate pattern. Instead of these particular CSV files, you can have call to any other AND systems as well, where you can merge the data and finally make a call to a Salesforce activity. Instead of for each, you can use batch depending upon the number of records, which can make your system much more efficient. But since, as I can show you, the count here is not that huge, so I thought for each will be a more apt solution in this particular scenario. But you can refer this particular solution or approach in order to create a different interaction between the AND systems. Okay, so let's try to run this, and let me clean this project. I will go to the console. It will take a couple of seconds to load it. And in the meanwhile, let me go back to the leads. This particular is having 22 items as of now, right? Okay, so it has started our app now, and let's make a hit. So it has given some output over here. Let's go back over here and see what is the response. So this particular logger is printing these 3 entries. After that, it starts with the for each logger, and the status is successful, true, and the last one is also true. So I think we should be able to see some new entries in the Salesforce platform. Let's go over here and refresh it. So I can see now, earlier it was 22, now it's 25. That is 3 new records are being added, and namely these are being pushed on 29th of November, that is today. And I can see the annual revenue is also being added for all these 3 new entries. So this was pretty much about the aggregate pattern, and you can play around with the different combination of the source and the way in which you want to interact with Salesforce. But the idea will remain same. Like in case you are having more than one source as input, you can have a scatter gather, and after that you can manipulate and create a sample or canonical payload, and you can put those particular records in for each or batch scope, and you can add some new records within the Salesforce platform. Instead of create, you can also use update, upsert, depending on your use case. But this was a very basic flow just to demonstrate the aggregation pattern. I hope you like this video, and thanks for watching.